This video is on how to name and write formulas for a type of molecule that we call a hydrate. So first we need to make sure we know what a hydrate is. So here's your definition. Hydrates are molecules that have some loosely held water that is chemically bonded to them. This line does not need to be here. Sorry about that. So molecules that have loosely held water. So a lot of students will think that this means like they're liquid, like it's a solution, like these compounds are just dissolved in water, and that's not the case at all. I'll show you some in class and how they are solids, but they have water molecules attached. It doesn't look like liquid water though. So an example of one right here is this CuSO4 5H2O. This right here is a hydrate. So that's how the formula is written. So you'll see you have your ionic compound first. So ionic compound. And then you have your number of waters. And in this case, it's 5. And it can be really anywhere from 1 to 10. So this one has 5 waters that are bonded to that copper 2 sulfate. So the copper 2 sulfate is that first part. And then the 5 waters are listed after that. And come on, go away. And what we put in between them is a little dot, and a lot of students think, oh, it's a multiplication. It's not, and it's not like a plus or anything either. It's just saying that together those are one thing. So this is one type of compound, one type of molecule. So first, when we name them, because kind of the reverse way is pretty simple once you know how to name them. So first you name the ionic compound as usual. So that's back in video 3, the one before this. So, or actually maybe 2 before this. No, yeah, 2 before this. So like in this case up here, we have this copper 2 sulfate, which CuSO4, which is the name right here. So now the second part after the name, that's when we add hydrate and we use a prefix. And remember, a prefix is something that goes before a word, and this prefix indicates how many waters. So 1 water, right, is H2O. So it's just a number in front of that. So we need to make sure we know the prefixes. So write these down in your notes, and you're going to have to memorize these, and they're also going to come into play in another video as well. So 1 is mono, and a lot of these are hopefully familiar. 2 is di, 3 is tri, 4 is tetra, like we did before with our shapes. 5 is penta, 6 is hexa, 7 is hepta, 8 is octa, 9 is nona, sometimes nona, and 10 is deca. So if we go back up to this one, it has 5 waters. So this would be copper 2 sulfate pentahydrate. And usually that's one word, but I ran out of space. All right, so let's do a few examples. We'll do kind of each way. So first, if I give you a name. So sodium nitrate decahydrate. Oops. Let me fix this. All right, and if we were going to write the formula for this, we'd first figure out what our ionic compound is, and that's right here. Okay, so this has sodium. So sodium is Na, and it's a +1 charge. And nitrate, we've got NO3, which is a -1 charge. So our first part, those already balance out, is going to be NaNO3. So our second part then, this part is our hydrate. And deca means 10. Hydrate means water, right? So this means we're going to put a dot in between, and we have 10 waters, 10 H2O. So really that last part is the only new part. You've done the first part already, the naming of the ionic compound. So now let's name one if I give you a formula. So if I have a formula of BaOH taken twice, and we'll do a dot and then 8H2O. Okay, so if we name this, first I'm going to name that ionic compound. So I have my cation is barium, and it is not a transition metal, so I don't need any Roman numeral. My OH, that is a polyatomic ion, and you don't change those names. So that is hydroxide. All right, so now it's a matter of just naming how many waters. So I don't put the dot in the name. I'm just going to write the prefix for 8. So if I go up, 8 is octa. So I write octa, and I put hydrate to indicate that it's water, and that is one word. Oops. So that is how you would name and write formulas for compounds. So ionic compounds, remember hydrate, write and name formulas for hydrates. So these are ionic compounds with water that is loosely attached.